So now we're going to be covering the Paladin. We have Prayer to start off, and Prayer... So, let me just give you a quick overview of defensive auras. Now defensive auras actually give you passives, I believe every 2 points. And it's related to the ability that the skill gives you, or aura gives you, when it's active. So for example, when we have Prayer, you gain life on hit. I believe that's actually a change, and it also heals you. On top of that, it grants a passive health regen per 2 base levels. So now I'll actually regen health when I put 2 points in. We have like Defiance, and when active, the aura increases your defense rating and damage reduction for you and your party, and when you have 2 points into Defiance, it also gives you damage reduction. So 9% right now, 10%. Look at that. Isn't that sick? And it gives you flat, it looks like. Cleansing. Basically, it'll remove like curses faster, and it'll remove poison faster, stuff like that. With the passive, it reduces the duration of poison and curses. So it's like on its own. Like I said, it basically just does a lesser version of when the curse is active. Mana after each kill with meditation, kind of cool change. And then passively, every 5 points, you get mana after each kill. On top of that, you get mana recovery for you and your party. Vigor is a really interesting one because passive actually gives you faster run walk, which is really cool. It gives you higher stamina, it gives you faster movement speed. So that's pretty sick. And velocity. So it's just gonna be like flat movement speed. Redemption has been changed, and now it only gives you mana rather than mana and life. But it slurps up the bodies of the damned, the bodies of the dead, and gives you X amount of mana. For every 2 base levels, you get 1 resistance. So like for fire resistance, you get like max fire resist. So I now have 76 fire resist. Now we have cold 76. Now we have lightning 76. And oftentimes it's like a smiter in vanilla. You'd want to like max this out to get a full 85, right? Because you can get up to 10% max lightning resist. Salvation's pretty good. It's elemental damage, right? It increases elemental damage, so it's a lot more useful in a party, and also it gives all resist. So that increase in elemental damage is the change, I believe. Also, something to note about this stuff, which might not be super intuitive, is Vengeance. Now I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but these are synergies for Vengeance. And fire is for fire damage, cold for cold, lightning for lightning. Salvation is for elemental damage. And I'll get to that in a sec. So that's pretty much the defensive auras. I really like what's been changed with it. Kind of all the passives that have been added to it and stuff like that. Alright, on to offensive auras. So my aura is basically the exact same. Where it just like gives extra physical damage to your party. Then we have Holy Fire. It like burns nearby enemies. And also, I believe, yeah, the radius will go up as more points go in. And the amount of damage you do with attacks, the more fire damage you actually get when you put points into that. Blessed Aim, it actually shows the passive here, where if you have it active, it gives you extra attack rating, but also, like for you and your party, but it also like passively gives you 5% more attack rating every point you put in. And it actually shows that now, which is super sick. Concentration, again, is like another increase in damage. when you're using it, like increase in physical damage, but when you're using it, you have a chance to be uninterruptible. And a lot of people, like Hammerdins and stuff like that, are familiar with this. It also gives some attack rating. Fanaticism, it increases damage, attack speed, and attack rating. So, yeah, fanaticism, pretty much the same thing. Not, like, there's pretty much nothing that's been changed here, except some of the visuals, and Sanctuary, I believe, has been changed. And let's take a look really quickly here on the offensive auras. So it looks like Might had higher damage, so that's good. Sanctuary applies plus magic damage as well as a small undead damage bonus. So Sanctuary is now like your magical damage aura. So like you have Holy Freeze, which is cold, and Holy Fire, which is fire, and Holy Shock, which is lightning. And now we have Sanctuary, which does magic damage. And then, you know, Might does physical and all this stuff. Fanaticism damage buff reduced. Then we got Conviction, got nerfed. We have Thorns. Thorns, I believe, it's not that great still. But there are a lot more items that have attacker take damage now. If you're not familiar with what Thorns is, basically it, you know, reflects damage back to the monsters that hit you, or players. Holy Freeze, like, chills monsters and does damage over time to them. Damage ticks. And it doesn't matter if they're cold immune, like, they'll still be chilled by Holy Freeze, so it's pretty strong, and especially that now the chill affects casting for players as well. It might be interesting for PvP. Again, I'm not huge into PvP, but just making a comment there. We have Holy Fire, which gives you extra fire damage when you swing. Same thing it does with Holy Freeze. And then we have Holy Shock, which uses, you know, it does lightning damage. It's the same thing as Holy Fire. There we go. Activated. One shot the entire screen except for those crushed beasts. Excellent. Is Holy Shock broken right now? No. It's just ticking really slow. I don't know what's going on with that. Weird. It might be broken right now, but basically it ticks like Holy Freeze and Holy Shock in an AoE, and it gives you extra lightning damage. There's like Dreamer builds and stuff like that that people can run. Sanctuary is actually something I haven't tried out yet. But it should be the exact same, except with magic damage. So Sanctuary ticks, and then you also get magic damage every time you melee. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. It could be an interesting, like, build in the future. Maybe people will figure some crazy stuff out with Sanctuary. And then Conviction is the good old minus resistance aura that is super helpful, and minus defense. And every time you put more points into it, and more minus resistance. We're gonna now talk about combat skills. So, Sacrifice now has like synergies. Zeal receives damage bonus from Sacrifice, and Zeal maxes out now at +3 hits, which is super cool. That way you don't get like locked in as much. And I'll show you Sacrifice real quick. With Sacrifice, it uses your life. Where's everybody, dude? Where's the monsters? So we have Sacrifice, and every time I use Sacrifice, I do have like life regen on and stuff. But like, every time you use Sacrifice, you use your life. And then we have Zeal, which has been changed now to have 3 hits instead of 5 on max, which is really cool. So you're not going to get locked in an animation for too long. Similar to how Assassin has maxed out on 3 kicks. We have Vengeance. Oh, and Zeal, by the way, synergy with Sacrifice. Then we have Vengeance, and Vengeance has a bunch of synergies. Fire for fire resistance, cold for cold resistance, and lightning for lightning resistance, as well as salvation just for overall elemental damage. I wanted to make a suggestion to them that maybe we could make an elemental zeal, because this is like a physical zeal, but maybe after like X amount of points we could get like 3 swings, but we'll see how that works. Merc is messing up my stuff. But we get splash damage and we do like different elemental damage. As you can see, I did like fire damage there. That one I did cold, obviously. So yeah, conversion, I did actually level up with it a little bit. Ooh. I like it, a scepter, dude. But I did level up with it, and it seemed pretty cool. I really liked it, especially if you like focus on an early game. Like maybe go fire, resist fire first for the fire damage in normal, and then like maybe cold or lightning in nightmare, and then get the last one in for hell or salvation, depending on what you want to go for. Every point you get more elemental damage, you get more attack rating. And then there's this new skill called Joust, and Joust has a 3-second cooldown. Run walk speed goes up every time you use it for 2 seconds. It's 2 seconds. So it's like Dragonflight, but Joust has, and I really like this, like Joust and Enigma is such a cool combination. You can like joust onto the enemy, and you get like extra movement speed for 2 seconds. See, like there's a little not whirlwind, but frenzy animation for a second or 2 seconds. That's the extra movement speed there. So Joust is super cool. It gives a little bit of extra damage. It has a critical strike chance. Yeah, I really like Joust. It seems like it's a 1-point wonder type of thing for utility. Then Holy Bolt, I believe it hits everything now, but every time you put a point in, you have more magic damage, and you can heal your guys. It has synergies with Prayer, Fist of Heavens, and Blessed Hammer. So like, yeah, that's healing a dude. I don't think it has 3 projectiles like it does in Pod. I don't think that's been changed, but it like pierces, I believe, all the time now. Which is cool. Wait, it said there is? Hold on a second, let me double check. Holy Bolt. Pierces allies and enemies. Fires an additional... Holy crap, dude. Okay, just gotta read, chat. That's what we gotta do. Or maybe not. Joe baited. I was right after all, chat. Get wrecked. Maybe he needs to fix it, maybe. Then we have Holy Light, and this one, as you can see, call down light from heaven to heal an ally from afar. And this will heal allies. This is specifically a heal skill. And I feel like it feels kind of like Fist of Heavens, like the vanilla Fist of Heavens, where like you can cast it on a guy and then it heals him. So that's kind of cool. So it might have some potential. We have Blessed Hammer. And if you've ever been on my channel, you know how Blessed Hammer works. Its synergies are Blessed Aim and Vigor, and use Concentration, so that way you can increase your magic damage. But basically it's Spiral Hammer. Super sick. I love this build. Favorite build in all of Diablo 2. Fist of Heavens. I despise this skill. Probably the most in all of Diablo 2, so... This and this are the bracket entire LOD for me. But basically, it's changed now, so that way... Oh, I'm like desyncing, what the frick? Okay, but yeah, Fist of Heavens is kind of like the same thing, except now it has no cooldown. It ultimately works the best with more targets around. I guess we could go down here. Bale, I'm coming for you. Here we go. There you go, see? There's more projectiles when there's more monsters around and stuff. Now, this is not like, you know, many skills in it, so don't be like, oh my god, the damage is bad! Granted, the damage is bad, but it'll be balanced. It'll be balanced, it's just, I absolutely despise. So, now we have Smite, and there might have been like a Smite damage reduction. Let's take a look here real quick. No, it looks like Smite's pretty much the same exact thing as Smite. So Smite is just, it's an attack that does not require AR, and you bash with your shield. And yes, melee splash works with Smite. So we're gonna have to get a shield real quick, just for example purposes. I guess we'll just use this one. Hawes! Let's use Hawes. Smite is super good for boss killing, because crushing blow, etc, etc. Does not require AR. So you can have 0 AR, and you will always hit. Oh yeah, back with Smite real quick, just mentioning that it stuns the monsters when you hit them for X amount of time, and same thing with damage is increased. And you put more points in, and it increases the stun and damage. Then we have Charge, and ultimately I feel like he's kind of fixed Charge Lock to some extent, maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't been Charge Locked yet, and I've tried a bunch of times. He said, Knight said, it has to do with desync, so maybe I'm just not desyncing as much. Charge is like a movement ability that you get at like level 12. Synergizes with Vigor and Might as of right now. And every time you put points in, you get attack rating as well as damage. Damn, dude, that looks like freaking Charge. That's where he got it from. That's the Charge guy. That's the Charge guy, isn't it? Charge guy got a raise, man. But yeah, Charge works with melee splash, as you can see. This does require AR, obviously. And then we have Conversion, which is this meme skill, dude. I don't know, man. It's Conversion. There we go, dude. Good old Conversion. Now, the thing that has been reworked with Conversion, it's a higher chance to convert. And on top of that, as an 8-second duration at all levels. So, higher chance, and it's an 8-second. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm personally not a fan of Conversion, but, you know. And then we have Holy Shield, which Holy Shield is like Paladin skill. If you're seeing a Paladin, he's gonna be using Holy Shield. This is in every single Paladin build, and if it's not, you're playing Paladin wrong! You're playing it wrong! I actually, heard about this guy that was playing with the Paladin, and he was like, I'm not gonna put any points in Holy Shield so I can save the points to do other things. Dude, and that was on hardcore. My goodness, people. My goodness! Death Wish. So, basically what it does, increases smite damage, has a very long duration, or a decently long duration, I should say. Increases your successful block chance, and also your defense. And it receives defense bonus from Defiance. So, Holy Shield, you know, we have the shield, we cast it, and we have a huge amount of block. And you put more dexterity in for more block, but you don't have to put nearly as much dexterity in to get full block when you're using your Holy Shield, due to the fact that successful blocking is increased when that is active. Now, Holy Nova. Now, I haven't actually personally tried this yet, Let's take a look real quick. Holy Nova. Long cooldown, AoE heal, and damage. So it does heals, and it does damage. Run in Holy Nova. Wow, that's a fast... That is, like, actually faster than I thought. I thought it moved slower. I thought it moved slower, dude. Wrecked! That's like full screen. That's pretty sick, dude. Granted, this is on normal, but 330 life, like, almost instantly like that for your party. That's a lot of healing overall. Like, say your whole party is not at full HP. This is only at level 25, right? So, like, I could max it a little bit better, or, like, put synergies in and stuff. Like, that's a lot of life for instant heal for an entire party. Like, if you have 8 players, you know, that's 8 times 350. Does the cooldown go down? It doesn't seem to. Did not seem to. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it goes down. It kind of stays the same from what it looks like. Mana cost is pretty heavy, but that's okay because that has a cooldown. And that's pretty much the Paladin. We covered the defensive skills, we covered the offensive skills, we covered the combat skills as well. Or I should say, auras. Auras.